And coming on to Harry and Meghan, I think for them now, Montecito.
A very, very structured, well-organised tour. Gives away £1.5 million. And Madame in Montecito is not making it easy for him.
You clicked for the secret behind Meghan's timeline. Here it is. A single Teen Mag page from 1997 lists her as 21. If that were true, the entire Hollywood to royal arc shifts. University dates, early credits, even the Suits breakout. All scrambled. But here's the twist we're unpacking today. Tom Bower chased the paper trail, and the California Birth Index draws a hard line under 1981. So, why did one disposable page ignite a full-blown age scandal? Stay with us. We're mapping the receipts, the rumor mill, and the silence that kept this fire burning. Here's where it all starts to crumble. A throwaway Teen Mag page from February 1997 lists Meghan as 21, and the internet treats it like a signed confession. One line, one number, and suddenly the timeline looks radioactive. How did a decades-old, glossy leftover become the star witness? It resurfaced as a scanned clip, stripped of context, posted for speed, not accuracy. No masthead notes. No correction box. Just a tiny age tag presented as a smoking gun. And once it hit feeds, the algorithm did the rest. Shares climbed. Receipts demanded. Conclusions preloaded. Here's the clash that lit the fuse. Official bios root her in 1981. That page screams 1975. 6 years is not a typo like flipping a 1 and a 7. 6 years rewrites the start date on a life. For a public figure, that delta is a brand risk, not a rounding error. One line of ink and the abacus speeds slide. Universities start and finish dates shift. Entry-level credits move from fresh to late. Early modeling looks less like a hustle and more like a reset. Agents, casting, PR timelines, every bead clicks left. Audiences feel a snap. If the age moves, what else was scrubbed? Media literacy matters here, and it gets ignored when clout is on the line. Low-stakes teen mags in the 90s ran on speed. Light fact-checking.
Fast captions.
Typos lived and died on the rack. When that page returns as a screenshot, nuance dies. No editor's note, no errata, just pixels turned into proof. Think of it like a luxury boutique with one mispriced tag on a flagship bag. That single sticker can tank trust in the entire store. Customers don't debate margins, they walk out. That's the brand math Meghan's camp faces. One stray number threatens the whole storefront. And the platforms reward escalation. Reddit threads chase the spiciest theory because upvotes pay. TikTok edits cut to the gasp. YouTube commentary treats every frame like a clue board. Incentives favor shock over source. If you slow down and verify, you lose the feed. If you hype, you win the moment. So the page mutates into a theory engine. Fans map birthdays to career beats. Detractors call it a mask drop. The gray areas vanish. The dream, it's cracking not because of proof, but because doubt performs better than data. Here's what insiders care about next. Cross-checks. Graduation lists. Dated early credits. Family notes with timestamps. That's the paper trail Tom Bower leans on, and it's not sexy, but it's sturdy. Boring records beat spicy screenshots when you're testing an age claim. Mini payoff. This page isn't proof. It's a catalyst. It shows how fast one typo can spark a full-blown theory in a system wired for outrage. The page gave people a hook. The algorithm handed them a megaphone. But before we call it case closed, we need to walk the timeline with receipts. We test the dominoes you care about, school years, first roles, filed records, and see which ones actually move when you push them.
Hollywood hasn't embraced her, and it's highly doubtful UK audiences or the royal family will care about this latest move. They're probably more relieved that she's not overtly bashing them. Kinsey Schofield also chimed in, but she thinks the palace would take notice and give disapproval behind the closed doors. And I agree with Kinsey here. While Prince William is in Brazil celebrating Earthshot Prize, Meghan Markle has been spotted on set of the new film. Meghan drawing headlines away from Prince William's high-profile event will not go unnoticed by the palace. The pattern of Harry and Meghan retreating from the spotlight for months, only to reemerge during William's major moments, is something his team is acutely aware of. I think that's a good point by Kinsey. The timing of the announcement has raised eyebrows beyond the palace. This overlap has prompted speculation about whether the movie leak was coincidental or a calculated attempt to distract from negative headlines. That one for sure. The only way this cameo will work for Meghan is if the movie is successful and she presents herself in a self-depreciating manner, showing she can laugh at her own image and reputation. 100% agree. Movie needs to be a hit, and it needs to be actually a joke on Meghan, and that's funny, and she's kind of, allowing the world to sort of laugh at her. I can't see her doing that, but that absolutely would be a good move.
If 1975 were true, the dominoes don't wobble, they crash. High school dates shift. College shifts. First credits shift. So which pieces actually move when you stress test the timeline? Bauer starts with the boring stuff insiders respect. He cross-references Northwestern enrollment and graduation windows with early credit dates and publicly filed records. You know the drill: semester start lists, alumni materials, dated programs, and those early on-screen appearances that carry timestamps whether PR likes them or not. He isn't guessing. He's aligning beats. Now the tension that fuels the rumor mill. Hollywood hates birthdays. Agents scrub bios. Casting calls ask for plays 24 to 28, not born in this year. Age is a currency. 6 years isn't trivia, it's leverage. You can sell fresh-faced longer. You can dodge 2 seasoned roles that box you out. So yes, incentives exist to sand the edges, and that's why records matter. Concrete beats, not vibes. High school chronology needs to map to a standard track. If you shift the birth year to 1975, you push teenage milestones earlier and stretch the gap before college. College entry and the graduation window then balloon. The 2003 finish collides with a supposed late 20s claim if that mag page were accurate. First visible credits, those small parts that show up with reliable air dates, either align with an early 20s actor hustling or they expose a mid-30s reboot. When you place the pins on a board, you look for fractures. Industry insight lands hard here. Fresh-faced roles flow to the low 20s lane. Seasoned roles can pay, but they narrow fast, especially for women. A 6-year swing can recast a resume from rising to plateaued. That's why rumors about age stick, because the market punishes the wrong number. Then there's Thomas Markle's side. The dad memories. Driving to auditions. Teen acting classes. Early performances that felt big at the time. These recollections stirred out because when public dates feel off, personal stories rush to fill the gap. But memory ages. Paper doesn't. School registries, dated programs, and official filings still beat a proud parent's timeline years later. So Bauer weighs both. Family recollections on one side, the ledger on the other. He lines up Northwestern's timeline next to early credits and those public records. If a 1975 birth year were real, you'd see slippage everywhere. A graduation age creeping toward the late 20s, first credits reading older than the roles allow, a rhythm that doesn't match the industry's age lanes. Here's the inflection point. Every verified anchor keeps circling the same year. The beats stack neatly around 1981. And once you lock those pillars, the magazine page sits alone on an island, loud but unsupported. Mini payoff. Bauer's receipts close ranks around 1981. The field where a cover-up could hide shrinks to a closet. The scandal loses fuel when the dates hold. And now the twist everyone's been waiting for, the primary source that shuts the door. Here's where the vibes meet a wall. When the state record walks in, the room goes quiet. The California Birth Index isn't a blog post. It's primary data built from formal filings with legal stakes. Entries go in at birth, long before fame, and they don't bend for narratives. That's the point. Neutral ink that survives headlines and hashtags. So, what's inside that system? A fixed birth year, locked in by the state, maintained for accuracy over decades. It anchors identity to the ground. You pair that with a birth certificate and you're dealing with documents created at the moment of arrival. No PR strategy, no brand calculus. Add university records with dated enrollment and completion windows, and the scaffolding hardens. Online, silence looked like guilt. People demanded a quote, a rebuttal, a clapback. But official records don't perform. They sit there. They outlast the trend cycle. The state doesn't chase clicks. It files, it logs, it stores. And when Tom Bauer checks across those sources, the year repeats, 1981. Corroboration stacks up. State database entries align with birth certificates. University paperwork lands in the same window. Even Samantha Markle's memoir supports 1981. That matters. An estranged voice has every motive to poke holes, not hand out helpful dates. If she aligns on the year, it reads as a fixed point, not a favor. Now, contrast that with a 90s teen mag. Those pages were fast, glossy, and error-prone. Light fact-checking. Tight deadlines. A small slip could pass through, an age tag entered wrong, a handwritten note misread. They weren't building an archive. They were selling the week. Here's the PR angle people ignore. Sometimes you don't feed the beast. You let records stand. By engaging a shaky claim, you raise its profile. By leaving it alone, you signal that the receipts already exist and don't need a press release. It's not silence as surrender. It's silence as strategy. So, does the 1997 page still matter if the record is clear? Yes, just not for the reason fans expect. The page exposes psychology. One stray number offered a thrill, a secret history, a hidden lever, a neat betrayal you could share in a screenshot. That's why it spread. The facts were stable. The feelings were volatile. Think of it like a bank vault versus a rumor about a missing bill. The vault ledger is audited, secured, boring. The rumor is exciting and contagious. But only one balances at the end of the day. Mission accomplished for the record. Chaos for the feed. Mini payoff. 1,980. One holds. Across the state index, birth documentation, and academic timelines, the year repeats. The Teen Mag entry reads like a typo, not a confession. The scandal fades when the paperwork is lined up. So, if the facts are settled, why did the age scandal feel so real to millions? Here's the final twist. The scandal wasn't the age. It was our reflex to crown a typo as truth. The dream, it's cracking for anyone who skips receipts and chases heat. We watched a stray number get top billing while the record sat there, steady and ignored. So here we are. Do you think Tom Bauer closed the case? Or did the rumor machine just move on to the next target? Drop your take, like, share, and subscribe for more royal deep dives. Next, we're tracking how a single cropped photo reshaped a royal feud narrative. One frame, one cut. The world is watching.